everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. I'm Emma and I am a holistic nutritionist and herbalist who loves to share all things holistic health and holistic healing with you guys. It is currently springtime and everything is in full bloom, and what that means is there's a lot of pollen in the air, and I know a lot of people experience a lot of allergies, springtime allergies, seasonal allergies, and so I wanted to share with you guys some of my favorite holistic remedies, from herbs to other nutraceuticals, that you guys can use to help prevent and treat the symptoms of allergies. Okay, to jump straight into my favorite remedies, my favorite herb hands down for allergies is nettles. Nettle is a great herb for this because it is a natural antihistamine, kind of like Benadryl and any of those things you would take for allergic reactions and for allergies during the springtime. Nettle does this naturally because it helps our histamine response. So taking a nettle tincture or sipping on nettle tea during the springtime can be really helpful in just alleviating any allergies and actually preventing them from happening altogether. Another one of my favorite herbs is yellow dock. Yellow dock also helps with any of these ailments, from just itchy, watery eyes to supporting our immune response when it comes to pollen in the environment. And so taking nettle during the springtime is really beautiful. And what you can notice about these two herbs is that they actually pop up during the springtime. They are spring green herbs. I have nettles down by the river and also some yellow dock down by the river, and they just truly support our bodies during the springtime in preventing any allergy symptoms from popping up. And I typically take nettles during the springtime, and I also typically take yellow dock during the springtime for different reasons, but yellow dock also helps wake our bodies up from a winter's slumber, and so gets things moving and keeps things circulating and prevents stagnation. So if you think of water, if you've ever seen a pond during the springtime and it's stagnant, you can see like a layer of pollen on top, and you can think of that kind of like your body. Yellow dock kind of goes in and gets things moving again and like disperses the pollen and sends it downstream and like keeps it from just stagnating and creating those like murky, congested feelings. So yellow dock is great for that. Another one of my favorite herbs is eyebright. Eyebright is really great for eye health. It's kind of in the name, but I love to get it in eye drop form, specifically during the summer months because it helps with the California dry eye. But it's also really great during the springtime for itchy and watery eyes that are caused by allergies. So this one is more just treating the symptoms than treating the cause, but it is really nice to have on hand anytime really. If you have like something go into your eye, or if you have itchy, watery eyes from allergies, it's great to have on hand. Another one of my favorite herbs is mullein. It also pops up in the springtime. It is everywhere right now. It's an invasive species, so pick as much of it as you want and use it for all of your needs. It has a lot of mucilage in it, and mucilage nourishes our mucous membranes, and this is really great because a lot of people get itchy, runny noses and just watery and congestion and just like overall stagnation in their body, and mullein goes in and it nourishes these mucous membranes and just soothes any inflammation that pops up from allergies. Another one of my favorite herbs is elderflower. Elderflower also pops up in the springtime, and it basically supports our immune systems, and when pollen comes in, it can be kind of like an environmental toxin to our immune systems and just kind of bombard us with a lot of things to deal with. And so it's really nice to have herbs that help support our immune systems, like elderflower, as a nice ally, a nice plant ally during the springtime. Another herb like this is echinacea, and I really love echinacea because it has an affinity for supporting our immune system so thoroughly. I love to have it on hand all the time if I start to feel under the weather, and I notice that when I'm outside and it's pretty like polleny outside, sometimes I can feel a little tired afterwards, and echinacea comes in and helps like pick up my immune system in that regard. My favorite adaptogenic herb for allergies and the histamine response is reishi mushrooms. Reishi mushrooms come in and they help with our natural histamine response, and they also help our bodies transition into the springtime. Spring is a very transitionary period, and so it's really nice to have herbs like reishi that can come in and help our bodies truly transition into this new phase. And then another of my favorite remedies that is not an herb is local bee pollen. Local bee pollen is so great for our bodies because it contains all of the pollen from our local environments and allows our bodies to meet it and be introduced to it in a small amount here and there, if you take like a teaspoon every single morning, and then it allows our bodies to develop a response to it so that when we encounter it out in nature, we're not as foreign to those pollen molecules, and pollen particles, so then we know what to do with it when it comes to us, so our bodies don't see it as foreign and we can process it better. And along those lines, local raw honey is also great for this because it also contains bee pollen in it. So going to a local beekeeper or going to your local co-op and searching for some local bee pollen or raw local honey will be really great for you. Okay, and then in addition to all of these remedies, I decided I wanted to go take you guys into the kitchen with me and make one of my favorite concoctions, herbal elixirs from all of these herbs, and basically how I take it, which is in a syrup form, and how I make it, all of those things, all of the right ratios. And so I'm really excited to share that with you guys. So come along into the kitchen with me so I can show you guys how I make it. Okay, so what I'm going to show you guys how to make is a super simple springtime allergy syrup, and what you're going to need is a bunch of herbs. I'm going to list water and raw local honey and a jar to place it in. So I'm going to take a little pot like this, I'm going to fill it up with water and then boil it. Okay, so for this herbal syrup, I'm going to be using about half a cup of herbs to about 2 cups of water. So the first herb that I'm going to be using is nettle, which is kind of the star of the show here. It's really great for that antihistamine response. And then the second herb that I'm going to be using is orange peel, like we talked about before too. It's really great for supporting our liver, and our liver is really great at just detoxifying out any excess toxins. And then orange peel is really great because most people have it in their kitchen. So if you don't have it in dried form and you don't want to spend extra money, you can just use the orange peels from any organic or local oranges that you have saved. And then the third herb that I'm going to be adding in is some echinacea leaf. And what I really love echinacea for is that it really helps support our immune system. And so whenever pollen comes in, it can be kind of a threat to our immune system. Our immune system can just create this like really nasty response to it. And so any herbs that really support our immune system can be really beneficial for allergies. And so I'm going to be adding in some echinacea leaf. I'm going to also be adding in some elderflower for the same reason. I love elderflower. You can get it locally in your natural environment. We have it growing here, but in most places in the United States and a lot of places in Europe, it grows naturally. And so in the early springtime or the early summer, you can go and pick the blossoms, mindfully of course, making sure to leave a lot of blossoms for the other animals and for the fruits to blossom on them. But I love elderflower for a lot of reasons, and one of them is that it really supports our immune response. I'm going to add in about 2 tablespoons of reishi powder into the mix as well, and just steep that in the water as well. Just because reishi has that nice adaptogenic property to it, which helps our bodies respond to any stress and any changes, which is what spring is. It's a season of transformation, which is really great. Reishi helps with that. And then it also has that natural antihistamine property to it as well. So I'm going to add in about 2 tablespoons of that. Okay, so now I have about 1/4 a cup of all my herbs added into this bowl, and I'm going to then add that into 4 cups of water and just allow that to simmer until the water is reduced by half. Okay, once the liquid reduces by half, you're going to take a mesh strainer or a cheesecloth and then a bowl or something with a little spout like that, and then strain all of the liquid from the herbs. And then I usually save the herbs and give them a second life by tincturing them, because there's still a lot of extra components in them that haven't been pulled out by the water, and so I'll usually just throw them in a jar and either tincture them with some vinegar and make like an herbal vinegar to throw over salads, or make a tincture out of alcohol. Okay, so this is what the little concoction looks like, and I usually have to like hold it in place. And then all of my herbs are done steeping. You can see all that steam, and I'm just going to strain them out. I usually like to just give it a nice little push. It's kind of hot, so I'm going to use this little spoon and just try and get out any excess liquid from it. I'm just pushing it down like this. You can see the herbs kind of absorbed a lot of the water and grew in size. Okay, and now I'm going to save this and just put it aside because I'm going to add some vinegar on top of it. Okay, so this is what the liquid looks like. It's very dark and potent with a lot of good things in it, and then I'm just going to pour it into this. I'm going to pour it into this jar without spilling too much. Oh my goodness. Okay. And then I'll usually add honey in it after it starts to cool down. And what I'll do is I'll do it by taste. So a lot of people will do 1 to 2 with honey. So you would probably split this up into 2 jars and then fill it with honey until it's full. And then that will make like a really nice syrupy consistency. But the honey is only really for sweetness and a little bit of medicine. And so if you don't want to add too much honey because you don't have a lot, it's really just up to your taste buds. And so I'm probably going to let this cool and then just fill it up to probably a little bit past like the rim right here and just sweeten it as I go, if that makes sense. Okay, so this is the finished product. I'm super excited with how it turned out. I'm really stoked to give this to my boyfriend. He's been experiencing some pretty bad springtime allergies. This is his first spring out in California, and so he's been kind of out for the count recently. I actually gave him nettle last year when he came to visit in the springtime, and it really helped his allergies because he had never been in California before and he was just really having a hard time. He loves to be outside, so it was just kind of heartbreaking that he couldn't fully be present. And so I made him some nettle tincture, or I gave him some nettle tincture that I had made, and it really helped his allergies. And so this has a lot of nettle in it, so I'm really excited to give it to him again and see how he responds to this syrup. I made it before for my sisters, like I said, and they really enjoyed it. And yeah, I hope that this video inspired you to go into your kitchen and start making your own herbal remedies for your body to support it in a multitude of ways, especially this spring. It's really amazing once you start to learn all of the potent medicines from the earth and how she truly does take care of us, and how you can really just take care of your body through things that you grow from the land. It's really amazing, especially just having that knowledge that you truly can take care of yourself. It's just so empowering. And so I hope that this video inspired you to go and do just that, to take care of yourself and make yourself a nice herbal remedy, whether you experience allergies and you want to implement one of these herbs or you have another favorite herb. Go make yourself a nice cup of tea and relax and take some deep belly breaths and enjoy the spring weather. I know that I am. It's such a great time of year, and I can't wait to see you guys again in another video. I'm going to continue to be putting out informational videos about herbs and women's health and natural remedies and just holistic living in tune with your body and in tune with the land. That is how we should all be living. And yeah, we are nature, you are not apart from nature, and if you ever feel alone, just know that Mother Earth is always beneath you, always supporting you, always holding you and guiding you in this grand journey of the human experience. I love you, and I hope that you're taking deep care of yourself. I will see you in the next video. Bye!